harm reduction has an appeal in a context where there is great support for sort of liberal drug policies, liberalising drug policies and legalisation. And a recent global commission reporting on these sorts of matters very much advocated that society should move towards some form of regulated drug market. Now it seems to me that if we confront the reality that it is not possible to reduce effectively or substantially reduce the level of harm associated with drug use unless you also substantially reduce the scale of the level of drug use, that any proposal of a kind to legalise or to provide a regulated market in drugs is actually a hugely risky policy. Because the examples of our currently legal drugs, alcohol and tobacco, is that their level of consumption is so much more wider than the currently illegal drugs. If we were to see anything like the level of escalation of our illegal drugs that we see in relation to tobacco and alcohol in the event that we had a regulated market, then the sorts of harms that we see now would simply be a modest pre-statement of what we would then go on to see. Now many people would say, well, you would never see that. You would never see heroin consumption of a scale of our alcohol or our tobacco consumption. However, there's absolutely no impermeable barrier that says there's only 1 or 2% of the population who would actually be interested in using heroin. It is entirely possible that that policy over a number of years, not immediately, but over 10, 15, 20, 30 years, could steadily result in an increase in the level of consumption of heroin and other currently illegal drugs. And my proposal is that that is a scenario which we must avoid at all costs. And the focus of drug policy should now switch from being overwhelmingly directed towards harm reduction to being much more focused on reducing the scale of drug use. By implication, it will also deliver reductions in drug-related harm, but it's actually prevention which should become the focus of drug policy rather more than harm reduction.